Ian, are we good to go? Okay. Let me, that's good. Okay, I'm going to call the Trees and Green Infrastructure Committee meeting on, I'm going to read the date here, December 8th, 2023 at 10 a.m. to order. We are in the second floor of the Commissioners, in the Commissioners room on the second floor of City Hall. And I welcome everybody who's online who have joined us or will watch later. Okay, we're gonna have another member join us in a bit, but we can get started, and I'm gonna do the roll call. Mr. Van Horn?
Here.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Ms. Duncan?
Here.
And I expect Susan Gay will be joining us shortly. Okay. I'm sorry I got these out late last night. I did do the minutes. If anybody's got did everybody get a chance to see them, or we can forego that for next week or next meeting if you want, or whatever. If I just didn't know if you guys had a chance to see them.
I did see them.
Okay.
Yes.
You saw them?
Yes. I wasn't here.
Oh, you weren't here. Okay. All right. Well,
I wasn't here, but I reviewed them.
Yeah,
last
we
night.
can read them. It's done. Okay. So, anyone will make a motion to approve the minutes?
I will. Motion to approve.
Okay.
A second.
Second? Okay, good. Okay.
We can't.
We
Yeah.
weren't
We-
here.
we
Yeah,
Okay.
weren't
none of
here.
us were here,
Okay. So
but I watched it.
can I second it?
You can.
Okay, I'm going to second it. Okay, so all those in favor, say aye. Aye, I'm eyeing.
Can we?
You can still vote on it if you
we
read
can't.
them. Yeah.
We
okay.
can't vote.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we can't vote.
Can we vote if?
Do you want to wait for Susan to?
I'll wait for Susan. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. We can do that. I'm just trying to do things in order. Okay, so as far as I know, we didn't receive any correspondence, so I just thought we would go, I'm going to skip over a couple things. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to go to old business A because that's sort of my topic. I did attend the holiday market. What day was that on? I got it here. The 25th. It was a Saturday after Thanksgiving. It was cold, and I can remember that much. And but anyway, it was a very festive party. There were a lot of people there. I set up. Andrea had given me some materials, some little posters and some things and stuff like that. And I may not be the world's best pitch man. I thought I had some talent in that regard, but I didn't really get anywhere with regard to. I mean, it seemed like it was well attended and everything, but and some people stopped and we chatted, and I think made some new friends, and had touch base. I think it was good that we had a presence there. But I didn't, and I had some people, numerous people take the brochure that I had, but I didn't really close the deal on anything. So I think that's a little unfortunate. I think, I don't know who in the past has done that, but I think they were more successful than either they had a closer contact or whatever. I mean, I'd stop people and stuff like that, but, it wasn't like we were a magnet. I think the real problem was there's a woman across from us who was selling homemade dog treats, and that's a big seller, when people are gifting animals, and so anyway, so I think they diverted a lot of my attention. So I'm going to blame it on that. Okay.
From our past experience, I think that what you're describing is pretty similar. to whatever
Similar, yeah. Well, I wasn't aware. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of stalling a little bit here. But there's two kind of roads or paths that I wasn't familiar with. I mean, I guess it was there before, but they got the main drag where most of the vendors and food related things. And we were on the sort of other one that kind of branches off of there and then goes out towards the parking lot or whatever. So not that I think we were in a bad spot. I mean, it was still well attended and everything, but I think there was less of that. There was like more crafts and more non-food things and stuff. So not that would have maybe helped or not, but it just seemed like the traffic was a little different, So
Should we consider Prezzies next year, gifts, something freebies
Oh,
for
for
people.
giveaways, yeah. I think that's something we could do. I mean, there's,
Candy.
there-
Right.
Candy and maybe bring your dog.
Right,
yeah,
there you go.
bring a dog.
right.
But I think the raffle idea, the raffle,
That's
Oh,
not a
yeah.
bad idea.
you know what I mean?
actually,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and we-
Have
yeah,
sign up.
sign up for a raffle.
Yeah.
Winners will be notified by mail, that kind of thing. Anyway, I think that's something to think about
Yeah,
because
you could start it, you could definitely start it early. It would be something you could run.
right, and we could,
year
or
long.
we could choose it there. We could do the reveal,
Yeah.
All right, somebody write that down. That was a good idea. So, anyway, but I tried and I failed miserably, and maybe not, but it wasn't as successful as I had hoped. Anyway, so, but I'm glad we could at least discuss and come up with some ideas about this. But I think at the very least, something to think about is sort of our outreach. In terms of, that's something I think we'll talk about later in this discussion about the summary of accomplishments.
Just to put it in perspective for you,
Sure.
a couple of years ago, Andrea and I set up a table out front of this building. I forget what the occasion was, and the only thing that showed up for me for a half a day in the middle of the summer was a hard wind that blew the brochures and the paperwork all over the place. I went running around for about 20 minutes picking
Really,
everything up,
really.
and that was it.
That
So-
was it. So, but it's a cherished memory.
Yes, it is.
Right. All right. So I'm just okay. Well, I'm gonna move on. A couple of these things. Well, that was my story. I'm going to skip the tree tour, tree mapping, because I think Susan has something to speak about as far as that goes. I'm going to talk about, I don't know if, well, I'll bring some of you up to speed on that. We're planning on doing this ivy eradication project, and I don't know if you had a chance to see last month's meeting, we just talked a little bit about Andrea and I went and visited the site and kind of got a sense of what we're looking at doing. And I don't think it's going to be arduous. At first I kind of thought, man, this is going to be like hacking through the jungle or something like that. But it's really quite. They had cleaned it before, I think, or I'm not saying the entire area has been kind of cleaned up, but much of it is, let's say, and it didn't strike me that it's like an imposing lot of stuff to deal with. I mean, I think if we got a decent sized group of people, which it sounds like we may well have, and I can talk about that, but we could probably knock it out in a couple hours or something. So I don't think this is going to, I think it's going to. I think it's going to be a benefit for sure, but in terms of improving that area and in the city in general and so forth. But anyway, so right now we talked about 4 dates, and I think there were like 2 in December and 2 in January or something like that. And I think we're settling on January the 6th. And I don't know if that's going to fit everybody's schedule or not, but I think, and obviously. We have another date in case that day is like terrible or bad weather or something like that we could maybe push it off to, a Saturday after that. I'm not sure which date it would be, but anyway, so we're shooting for the January 6th. I haven't figured a time yet. And by the way, I spoke to Lynn Cohen, and she's prepared to announce this and the lines in the sand on Monday, so we'll have a little bit of advance, around a month, I guess. Advance notice and so forth. So we might be able to get some other folks to help.
Sorry, you mentioned attendance seems like it would be good. Where do we have that info? Like, has it been publicized already?
No,
I missed the last
that's what
couple
I'm saying.
meetings.
Andrea had talked to, I think Carolyn Diefendorfer. You guys know her? Yeah, okay. She's on the Environment Committee, and they apparently haven't you know, they haven't even met, I think, in a while, so, you know, that's something they felt like they wanted to join in on.
Okay,
So, and then there's some folks from the VIA, and then there's some folks from Rehoboth and Bloom, so, you know, could be cast of thousands, you know, but I'm not anticipating that, but I mean, I think we could probably have, hopefully at 10 or more people or something like that, and I think that would do it. And then I was planning on, I have this trailer, like a utility trailer, that isn't huge. I mean, it's probably about the size, it's a little bigger than this dais. It's 4x8, it's a 4x8 trailer. And I have used that for many years, you know, grubbing and cleaning and taking stuff to the dump and all that kind of stuff. This thing doesn't owe me a dime, this trailer. But I think we could get a sizable amount of stuff, especially if it's going to be like vine-like material mostly, that kind of thing. We can pile it in there and, you know, I think, so we have sort of receptacles so we don't have to like bag it or do anything like that. And then I can strap it down, I can pile it up, you know, and haul it away and, you know, take it. I think I can take it to the yard, the maintenance yard and dump it off, and they have a trash truck that I think they have devoted for the lawn waste and things like that, so I can get rid of it at a later time. But so the matter is, like, when do you think you want to assemble and do this? And I'm just thinking, what, I mean, like 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like
10
that.
o'clock.
10 o'clock, I think is a
When
good
people
time.
have their-
Yeah,
Have people have their
so,
breakfast.
you know, and so,
And will the article and lines in the sand include things like bring gloves?
yeah,
wear
all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Long sleeve?
Yeah, bring a show of insurance, yeah. So, yeah,
Gloves.
yeah, and establish where we're gonna meet. I think it'll be certainly visible when we're there, you know. I'll make a point of where we're.
Like
where we're gonna-
Deauville parking lot?
Yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, why not? That's the most recognizable place, yeah. We'll do that,
and this will be open call.
yeah, okay, yeah. So.
Come one, come all.
Yeah, we're non-discriminatory, you know, I think, you know, it's just,
The other thing I remember, I think Liz, we learned the last time we did this years ago, you don't, if I remember correctly, you don't want to dispose of the ivy taken off while it's still green.
right,
It needs to die.
right, or be dormant or whatever, yeah. Which I would, with global warming, that may be a difficult thing to achieve, but I think we're in better shape in January to do it than any time, so, yeah. But there was something else I was trying to think of, but, the other issue is, and I don't know if Ann would weigh in on this or not, but the idea that we are assembling on that date, according to talking to Evan, would constitute a meeting or that we would have to agenda it? I mean,
You're gonna be going out and cleaning up?
yeah,
No, that's not gonna be a meeting.
okay,
The only thing that I advise you of is do not discuss any business that day.
right. Other than watch out
Ivy.
for that rock. Yeah, okay. So
Watch out for that snake.
That snake, yeah. Okay, because he was a little, and he was concerned about that for us as well as the environmental committee. So I can make that known for the folks or whatever, but, you know, I didn't anticipate. And I guess the other question is, would we be doing this, if it doesn't count as a meeting, we would still have time to have a meeting in January? We can do both?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, all right. So,
One last question from me. And this note going out to folks in the public
yeah.
will be to bring their own tools as well, right?
Right,
Clippers or
yeah, I
something
mean,
like
I'm
that.
gonna bring I'm gonna bring stuff and
Yeah, I can
everything,
too.
but if anybody has, I would think at the very least, it's gonna be mostly hands. I think you're gonna, I mean, what I'm envisioning that we're gonna do, there's a lot of stuff in the trees that were actually, I think, cut before. And it's all kind of this dead stuff in there. And I think it would be, you know, that was done a couple years ago maybe, so it's well degraded, so I think we could, if to the extent without damaging the tree or everything, I mean, most of the time it's best just to leave it, but I think at this point, it's kind of loose and, we could probably get some of that stuff out of the trees, and I think it would be, helpful to do that, I think we'll have to use our better judgment, but.
Yeah, I think Katie or Liz could speak to this better than I could, but my understanding is, and we've had some of this work done privately at our own home, from arborists, they say that even in one season, the vines begin to release from the
Right.
tree, and if you're gentle, it's
Right.
pretty safe to take it off.
Right, so, and I didn't see, I mean, I didn't do an inventory, but I didn't see that we would, that there was like really heavy coverage, I mean, it's there, but I didn't, like, I've seen trees in town that's really well established. So over there, it looked like what they had done before, got a lot of it out and all that kind of stuff. But there are some places that weren't touched, and so I think there's that we can, like, I'm just looking at this as something that we can consider doing on a semi-regular basis, if not like once a year or something like that, I would think, and that we would just be maintaining it. And I think that's kind of what Liz was talking about, that this is not something that's sort of a high priority for her, or was, and but if the fact that a group could come along and kind of tidy it up and that kind of stuff, because I mean that area, Deauville gets a lot of, it's a focal point. I think a lot of people go by there, if not go to the beach there, and you see it from surf. I just think it's a good spot, a visible spot, that if we maintain it, it's good. So
And also, just to add to that,
go ahead.
I think that it's also community building.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's
right.
good for the community. It's good to bring people together.
Right.
And
right,
it's a small, but it's a community project. I
Right,
think it's a
right.
great idea.
So-
Yeah, great idea.
So anyway, that was, again, my rationale for wanting to do something, do something, and I thought it was something we could do, manageable. Let's see how it works, that kind of thing, and.
So Bunky, will you be the one who gets the information for the write-up to?
Yeah. In fact, I will. I think we're going to go see her after the meeting. So I have a couple rounds I have to make. So I'll check her out and everything. All right. So and any thoughts? If you think of something like, wake up in a cold sweat at the middle of the night, about, oh my God, he didn't mention, call me. Let me know if there's, something that you think we missed or not concerning. I'm sorry, Susan's not here, but anyway, well, I'm just gonna forge ahead into new business. I mentioned this before, but I didn't go into any detail, and I don't really know there's much more detail, but there's, the mayor and commissioners have been discussing at a workshop an idea about, I think the issue is primarily, the city has a number of committees, but like standing, we have commissions and we have committees, and we're a committee, and I don't know if everybody knows, but this committee was established. We had a different name. It was the mayor's. It was a committee on trees, but and it was actually established, I think, late in the term, if my memory serves, of Mayor Cooper. And it actually started out as kind of a citizen group. I think it was Sturgis Dodge and some other folks. We had a committee, and this was sort of in the throes of dealing with the revision of the the tree ordinance and so forth. And we were, and at the same time, being conscious of this different things the city did or other people did, with regard to trees. And anyway, it kind of developed into a citizen group, into a little bit more organized group that would have a commissioner, a chair of the group, and so forth and so on. That's in Tony Sharp, Commissioner Sharp was I actually did it for a number of years, being the chair of it and guiding it. And now we have what we have now. But I feel with some of that prior history and some of the folks that were involved with it before, we've established at least certain things that are kind of in our court, that we're talking with, that we deal with. And I feel that this group is an advocacy group. I mean, we are here to advise. We're not here really to advise, but I think we're here to sort of be a conduit between the mayor and commissioners and the public, and to kind of promote the idea that this is a city with trees, and the trees are a natural resource and a specific natural resource to this community and so forth. That I think we serve a purpose, kind of thing. So.
Well, it's not only an advisory, we're actually take actions.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you
That's what I'm
have the
saying.
Ivy, and then Arborist Day is, Arbor Day
Day,
is
right.
is a big event,
Right.
which takes a lot of
Right.
labor and time.
Right, it does, and I appreciate, I mean, I personally appreciate that we are doing something positive and beneficial and all that kind of stuff, and I'm very appreciative of you all joining in on this, and taking your time, and I think that's part of the concern of what the American commissioners are doing, that a number of the committees are formed for a specific purpose. And like, for example, there was like the advisory group about the determining whether or not the city would want to have a wastewater kind of a fee and all that kind of stuff. So some of these things are assembled, and then kind of their purpose is served, and then they kind of either sunset them, or they put them in abeyance or something like that. So I mean, and I think that's a natural process and all that kind of thing. But I feel like in our case, we've already sort of established ourselves and that kind of thing. So I'm more or less supportive of kind of maintaining what we have and what we do, and obviously other things that we want to get involved in if we choose to, or collectively choose to. But the mayor and commissioners are looking at overall, not just us, but overall looking at whether we can they can be better sort of managed, because it does take the other side of this thing is that we do take some staff time for people. Obviously, Ann is here, but it's kind of her job to be here for the various meetings and so forth. But we have like the city arborist would join us, or whomever, and that's the case with some of the other groups and so on. So so there's that concern. But I like to think that we hopefully serve the city staff as well, and serve the city, and thereby assist. I don't think we're here to kind of try to make work for the city staff. So yeah, but I think we do have to sort of balance that and be mindful of that.
That we add value.
Yeah, I think we had, write that down. That we do that, and we strive to do that. So I just think, in addition to the list of accomplishments, and unfortunately I didn't bring them, but we did have them at the. I handed them out to at our last meeting on Monday, yeah, and we didn't really discuss it much. I think in the manner that we had hoped. So all I'm getting at is that this is going to be discussed further, but I just wanted you all to be aware of this. And what cryptic note am I getting here? Yeah, okay. This is good right here. So there is that, but I did, and I don't know why I didn't. When I get home, I'll send it out to everybody just to see what we assembled. And it's just basically a bullet pointed list of things. And, but I thought it was noteworthy, so, there. All right. I think at some point, we're gonna have to face the fact that Susan isn't coming. But anyway, so I'm gonna move on to new business B, and I'll just will share with you the conversations I've had with regard to the departure. I think everybody knows that that actually Liz Lingo has left the building. So her last day was on Friday, last Friday, week ago, but I did see her this week at the staff lunch they had on Tuesday, and I was happy to see her, of course, and we sobbed and we harkened back many great memories and so forth. Anyway, I'm being silly, but but I learned, and I was sort of heartened by this, that she is has started a new job, and but she will be available if for whatever reason there was some information or something that the city has like kind of got her on some kind of not. I don't know what arrangement they have, but she has agreed to be available if needed, and I think that's, you know, in the transition, I'm assuming or pretty much expect that they're going to refill her position, and there will be a new city arborist. There was a time when there was a new city arborist, so I think that's an improvement just there, you know. But anyways, she will be around, and I know there was a couple of concerns I know that Susan had with regard to the tree mapping and some other things that you know, just some loose ends, and we may have some others that, but I think we'll be able to deal with them if needed. So I'm kind of reassured that, you know, we'll have her help if needed. Okay, and jump in if anybody's got anything to say. I'm sorry, I'm just rattling on like this, but the only thing I really know about the I'll go back. I'm going to jump back, assuming we're not going to see Susan. This issue with, and this is kind of a loose end kind of thing as well. I think that there's some input that we needed from I think Max Hamby of the IT department about, I think, finishing this sort of mapping that there was, and I don't really know the nuts and bolts of that, but I think Susan can enlighten us. You know, at a future meeting or whatever. But like that was sort of a sticking point. One of the other things we talked about, and then the other, I think the other part of that, and maybe I'm kind of fuzzy about this, but that we had this idea of having some kind of this tour, or maybe the tour was the does anybody know? I don't know. That we wanted to be able to have like some kind of coordinates to know where various trees were or something like that that could be included in some kind of either website or the app or something where people would be able to see where's the locations of certain things. I think that was the idea of it and everything. And the hang up, and I don't think it's a big hang up, that they were going to use some kind of GIS, is that what it is? You know, location data to be able to show on a map or have things appear on a map to show you where something is. And then the other thing was that I don't think is as far along, was the idea of having some kind of that we had information about certain trees in the vicinity of the tot lot on Stokely Street, you know, near Scarborough Avenue, right around where the Turtle Bridge is, and we were hoping to develop, and I really, unfortunately, don't really know where that is, but I think that was another sort of a topic that Susan was going to talk about, so we'll have to hit that next time. I think that's, well, obviously, that's all I had on here to talk about. I mean, we can certainly, anybody else have any kind of things they want to discuss? And any other kind of, the other thing, which is, we are scheduled to have, obviously, the Deauville Beach project, and then we're in good shape with the discussion, our lecturer in March. So that's, I think, all. I mean, there will be have some preliminary things to deal with in advance of that, but generally we got our guy, and he's willing to talk. And last meeting, there was this discussion about sedges. I'm not really, I think I know what sedges are, but I think as a sort of a lawn alternative or some kind of amendment to, I think that's what the sort of gist of it is. I could be wrong, but that was sort of the direction of the discussion last month. Okay, well, I'm
Quick question or thought. If the Deauville Beach project is successful from a community point of view, and we get a good turnout, a needed turnout, and cleanup goes well, do we have other sites that?
Well, I think so.
We think
yeah,
are,
I think.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to think. I'll mention that we had a number. Actually, I can mention something that that was at the Mayor and Commissioners meeting this week, where the members of the VIA came and were talking about it. And this is very much in the formative stages right now, although they did have a sort of a conceptual design of and I didn't know this, by the way, the little platform area next to the bridge that goes over Lake Girard. Was that 2nd Street? Is that 2nd Street? I think it's 2nd Street. Anyway, that used to be what they called the Children's Fishing Pier.
Yes, right.
So you guys know
right,
this.
yes.
My
I don't
kids
know.
fished off of it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, there you go. Well, anyway, and obviously the configuration of it and how it was situated was affected greatly by the replacement of that bridge. I don't know how many years ago that was, but I seem to remember when they did it, probably 10 years ago, something like that. So I think part of it got kind of chopped off or whatever. I'm not sure exactly, but what remains is, I mean, I've been on it recently, and I didn't think that it was like the most, bad looking thing. I mean, I didn't think it was like all that bad. I mean, the decking looked a little, kind of worn and weathered. But anyway, but according to the people from the VIA, they didn't announce this person. This person is remaining anonymous, but is pledging to fund an either update or actually I think it's going to be a replacement of the pier, and it won't necessarily be where the pier currently is. And they're looking to, I'm going to stay on this. They're looking to have a kind of I'm trying to orient myself. I guess on the north side, like where the bridge is, if you're heading north, kind of, on the far side of it, to the left or to the west side along the bank of the lake there, they're going to have, it's going to kind of come off of there and kind of either kind of hug the shore, but be in the water, but hug the shore, or it might come out like a little bit on an angle. And then it's actually, they're talking about having like a covered area. Like it's going to be sort of a narrow kind of pier-like structure that would go out to sort of a larger round or octagonal or something, shape, and possibly even an extension off of that to another little area. So it's not going to be that big. And they were also very concerned about the views of it, like who's going to be seeing it, and is it going to look like an obstruction or that, this kind of stuff. But what they showed was, an attractive idea. I mean, they haven't like fleshed it all out completely, but that is likely to happen. I don't know when exactly. And then the other question, which got to be sort of the center of attention, was that who's going to pay for it? Is this person paying for the whole thing, or is he contributing a certain amount? And then so there was like the scope of the project kind of was discussed as to what we thought was a good idea, bad idea. But then they were basically just telling us about it. They weren't, it wasn't to be approved or anything like that. We were just, being informed. So, but anyway, I thought that was pretty, pretty cool. So, but I'm thinking, how can we be involved?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, how does this relate?
Yeah, right. I assume there was some remediation involved. The shoreline has always been, at least as far as Kitty Cole was involved. I mean, she was always very much wanting things made like they used to be, and for her, that's a long period of time. In terms of like used to be when. And but I went over there several months ago to kind of see what she was, bothered by. And I mean, it's not great, but it's still kind of, I mean, I know there's a lot of fallen trees. I know there's a lot of things that could be made better, but I thought that she was sort of feeling more strongly about the fact that you can't like get to the very edge of the water, or the edge of the lake, because there's like a buffer there. And I actually think the buffer is needed, and it helps keep some of the waterfowl from coming up and making a mess and all that kind of stuff. So there's other issues, but in answer to your question, I'm taking so long doing this. There were areas of kind of open ivy and things, but it was kind of ground cover. And what Liz was talking about, at least, was like at least that kind of holds the slope a little bit. It has a benefit, even though it may be an area you can't walk through easily. But anyway, I mean, I think I feel like there's probably plenty places that we will be able to hopefully work with the new city arborist and come up with ideas for doing some community projects. So
Yeah, I
anyway.
think the area around Kitty's house that she was talking to about, Liz was saying, we could go in there and remove the ivy, but something needs to be there once you take it out, because you're going to have a problem with the ground sloping back down into the water. And then the other issue she had was the buffer, I believe, that is around the lake that wasn't there when my kids were little. And we really didn't have a duck problem.
Yeah, right. Because you had kids, or
No,
the kids chase them away?
just a few ducks,
Okay, all right.
not a million.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But
Anyway,
so I would think that there might be something that falls within our mission that we can do to assist when this project is going to start, or even prior to the work.
And there may be, if there is removal of ivy and other plants that really are invasive, maybe there are good native species that we could reintroduce or something like that.
Yes,
And that
yes.
would take work with the arborists and the environmental folks to.
right. And maybe it's sedge.
And maybe it's such.
Yeah, maybe the sedge is the answer
That's-
to our
that may be
prayers,
that.
you know, I don't know. I just made that up. But,
Might be.
yeah, we'll know, we'll know soon. So, I don't know. I'm stalling here, but I think we've done enough damage. I'm sorry to yank you all out and to come over here, but it's good to see everybody and
I think this was a good meeting.
I think it's a good meeting. I think, you know,
Established the time for the
yeah,
January 6th
yeah. Okay.
ivy eradication.
So, any other committee member comments? I think we've made a couple, but if anybody has anything else to add,
regard to the minutes, I would just defer them.
yeah, yeah, okay. Let me write that down. Anyway, writing them is the worst part. You know, improving them is easy. So, I'm gonna defer.
You know how I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet.
When I think, oop, where am I at?
Probably Susan saying I'm not going to be.
Mr. Spam is calling me, sorry. But anyway, we'll persevere. Hang on, let me just write this down.
Now, one other thing, do you have a inclement weather date for January 6th?
I thought
I set one up?
I think, well, let's just look at the next 2 Saturdays. I knew, wait a minute. There was I forget what the other one was. Oh, I have confirmation that Susan's not going to be here, so that's good. So, wait a minute. It's nothing more tedious than watch somebody look at their calendar, but anyway, here we go.
Well, the weekend of the 13th will be the weekend of a federal holiday on the 15th.
Right, but
So
I'm
maybe you wanna
assuming
do
it's
like
going to
the
be a
20th.
Saturday. I just thought we were going to do a
Well, I
Saturday.
know, but sometimes when there's a federal holiday weekend, people either come or people leave. So
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking maybe the 20th.
Right, the 20th, I would say, okay. And I know, I can't make it on the following one, so. So, it's not up to me, but let's shoot for the 20th, if that's agreeable to everybody, as a fallback date.
Yeah, I won't be able to be here on the 6th.
No?
Yeah,
Well.
my son flies out of, he goes back to school, so.
Okay, all right.
Just give me your axe. and
We
we'll
appreciate,
Yeah.
we appreciate you
got
here.
those, yeah.
Okay,
I'm good at pulling ivy.
okay. So,
I think we all, anybody with
I've got
expertise
lots
here.
of it.
yeah.
Or had
Okay.
it.
And I think we sort of talked about, well, I think I can glean from our discussion what to include on future agendas, and I'll check in with, if there's anything that you want to offer up, I mean, just give me a yell or send me an email or something.
I have some notes here if you want them.
Okay, that's good. Our next meeting, I believe, well, that's a good question. Do we want to have a meeting next month, or I mean, we can have a meeting, but
Are you required to have a meeting? No.
no. Well, let's just say that our next scheduled meeting is,
12th,
what is it?
the 12th.
The 12th. So we'll see. So right, okay. Well, I'll discuss that. We'll see what we want to do or not, you know. I'm thinking this might be, depending upon how involved this thing works out, with like the weather and all that other kind of stuff, we'll determine that. So we don't have any citizens here. I'll just say before we adjourn, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. And thanks to Ann for being our loyal and faithful assistant. And I don't think people fully appreciate how much the city does to make these meetings happen in order for the public to, be assured that they happen, but don't participate in it. So, anyway, my little editorial comment.
Well, and we need to thank her for keeping us in line. when
And
we-
keep us in line.
Always,
I mean, she's our,
That's-
she's our
that's the
source
most
of.
important part.
We look to her, please, what, so, anyway, thank you all, thanks for all being here, and you all for being here. And if anybody's interested in seeing some sparkly aluminum trees, I can share with you where that would be, okay? At my house. Okay. You want to see some videos? Okay, I'll share. All right, well, I'm gonna adjourn this meeting at, looks like 10:47. Click. All right. Thank you. Yeah.